Hey, woohoo! Welcome to Walking the Path. Okay, what if most of the problems in the world have very little to do with money, politics, or other people, and have more to do with the fact that we actually don't love ourselves? So there's that old song, "What's Love Got to Do with It?" That was in my head today. That old Tina Turner song, "What's love got to do? Got to do with it? What's love for the second emotion?" Okay. Oh my God. Okay. That old song, I've been thinking about it, really. And not just the pop lyric, but there's like a spiritual question in that song. And I'm here at Rythmia. We're celebrating 10 years at Rythmia. 10 years of witnessing healing and transformation and miracles and remembering. And what I see over and over and over again is really that people aren't broken. It's not that people are broken. It's that people learn to survive without loving themselves. I learned to survive that's how I learned to survive, right? By beating myself up, by making sure I didn't make that mistake again, or whatever it was, the guilt, the shame, the not enoughness, the try and keep up, to try and feel safe, to try and feel enough, to try and feel loved, to try and feel like we belong. And that's the wound. And that's also the doorway. Rumi says that the wound is the place where the light can enter. And it's like, that is the doorway to opening. So, when Tina Turner asks what's love got to do with it, she's not saying that love doesn't matter. She's saying that she's actually questioning whether the love that she's questioning whether the love that what we've been calling love, is actually love, or is it actually fear? Is what we've been calling love actually fear or love? Or is it actually love or approval seeking? Is it actually love or attachment? Is it actually love or old survival patterns? All the ways that we try and feel safe, to feel loved, to feel like we belong. And, last night in the spiritual recalibration circle, we talked about exploring how much of our struggle is really our inner civil war. And inner civil war is not quite the phrase, right? You think of a civil war as like firing arms and bombs at each other, but really our inner civil war, the ways in which we don't really love ourselves, is like an occupation. It's like when an occupying army comes in and there's like a guerrilla warfare, right? There's no clearly defined front. There's no real outcome, like, okay, this is the battle and it's over. No, when you're in an occupied situation and there's guerrilla warfare, it's like fight, skirmish here, skirmish over here, skirmish over here, and it's just constant. That's what we do to ourselves, this self-aggression. Self-aggression. I was talking to my friend Darren about this just a moment ago. And that's where this came from. I was like, oh, well, I guess that's my topic for Walking the Path today. Ding. And so what we call that tension is stress. We call it stress, or relationship problems, or a broken world. But it often starts here, right? I want to name this pattern. I want to name the pattern clearly and cleanly and compassionately, that when we don't love ourselves, we outsource love. We demand it from our partners. We demand it from our parents, from institutions, from spiritual systems, from the world. And when it doesn't arrive in the way that we want, it turns into judgment and blame and anger and resentment and guilt and us versus them. And hatred is self-projection, period. Hatred is most often self-projection, self-rejection, self-mask wearing, judgment that's unresolved shame, looking for somewhere to land, unresolved shame in ourselves, looking for somewhere to land out there. It's not a moral failure, it's unhealed pain. So, I want to reframe the song's message. What's love got to do? The song works because it exposes something honest, and that love can't do the job of self-worth. And if If love is asked to fix what only self-acceptance can heal, it collapses under its weight. Love isn't meant to be a rescue mission. It's meant to be an expression. And this, it's the longest self-help phrase we've heard. It's the oldest. It's you can't love anybody till you love yourself. True. Really true. Absolutely 100% true. We cannot love anyone until we love ourselves. And that when we don't love ourselves, we're at war with ourselves. We're being aggressive towards ourselves. There's self-aggression, and it really is self-hatred, self-loathing. And I was talking to my friend about this and asked, like, before you had this realization, if I would have said, I think it's self-loathing, would you have said, yeah, I totally agree? And he said, no. And I think that's most of us. Like, I wouldn't have said a year ago, if, when someone said, I think you have a story that you're broken. I was like, I don't have a story that I'm broken. And then I started to see all the ways that I have a story that I'm broken. So I'll ask you to consider this. Maybe take a look and see if you have a story of self-aggression, a story of holding yourself to a standard that when you don't meet it, there is guilt or shame or retribution of some way, some sort of condemnation or judgment of yourself. Because love is an expression. Love is a state of being. Compassion is the expression of that state of being. Compassion is the action. Compassion is the verb of love. People say love is a verb. Okay. No, love is a state of consciousness. And the action of love is compassion. And can we be compassionate to ourselves? Like, just, if you were talking to a friend that was beating themselves up for being stupid about having made a mistake, you'd say some compassionate things like, it's okay. It's going to be all right. Don't worry. It's not that bad. Don't sweat it. You're going to be all right. You know what? You're awesome. And you're awesome. We love you. You're so loved. You're so appreciated. Right? Can we have that compassionate talk with ourselves? And this is really what I witness at Rythmia every week, right? People are remembering who they are beneath the story. And when someone truly meets themselves with compassion, without condition, without needing to earn it, if we can meet ourselves with compassion, without condition and without having to earn it, how many times do I notice myself unconsciously feeling like I have to give in order to receive? I have to prove my worth or my value in order to receive, to be worthy. And so, when we can really meet ourselves with compassion, what happens? The nervous system softens. The body relaxes. The relationship reorganizes itself. And life begins to move differently, not because you tried harder or something changed out there, but because the war inside ended. And this is really, what the world needs now is self-love, sweet self-love. And this isn't indulgent. This isn't selfish. People, I'm going to be selfish. Don't be selfish. Just love yourself. We must love ourselves fiercely if we are to be loving in the world. Loving yourself is not indulgent. It's actually responsible. Because every unloved part of us is destabilizing. Every part that we love becomes a stabilizing presence. And this is not about perfection. It's just about staying with yourself instead of abandoning yourself. It's about saying, I got me. I'm on my side. I'm on my side. How many times have I not been on my own side? Bigger critique of myself than of anybody else. Although, trust me, as much as I critique myself, I got the critiques going on everybody else. That's the truth, right? Because that's what I'm talking about. Donna says, nothing changed for me until I learned to give myself grace. Wonderful. Yes. Love, compassion, grace. You know? So loving yourself doesn't mean you never get triggered. It doesn't mean that everything's like rainbows and unicorns from here on, but it means that when you do, you don't turn against yourself. You know? It means when we slip, we don't turn against ourselves. We got our own back. I got me. I'm on my side. I'm on my side. I want you to be on your side. Because if we don't turn against ourselves, we stay and we listen and we soften. And it's from that place that love begins to stay. It's not something we chase anymore. And it becomes something that we radiate. So, what do I want to say here? I was in a session today with a client, and they said, I want to become the best version of myself. And I want to say healing is not about becoming a better version of yourself, because that implies that fundamentally there's something wrong with you, that who you are right now isn't enough. So you'll never be enough. I'm going to become the best version of myself. That felt like such a good statement a while ago for me. And then over the last year, it's like, no, that doesn't resonate with me anymore. I don't want to be the best version of myself. Now, do I want to improve? Yeah. Do I want to grow and expand? Of course. Do I have a lot to learn? 100%. But I'm not growing, expanding, learning from a place of I'm a piece of shit and I need to move. I need to get better. I'm learning, loving, expanding from I am great just the way I am. I love myself just the way I am. All of my faults, all of my perfect, lovely parts, all of my humor, all the wit, all of the intelligence, all of the compulsive behaviors, all of the choosing lower, all of the laziness, all the procrastination, all of the not getting it done, I love it. And then every time I do that, I'm ending that war within me. Every time I stay, every time I listen, every time I remember what's true about me, that I'm okay just as I am. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not broken. I have nothing to prove. Doesn't mean I don't have stuff to expand and grow. I just have nothing to prove. I don't have to prove it. I don't have to improve. I don't have to be better than I am now. I'm great now, and I want to expand. I want to learn. I want to grow, of course. But maybe that's what love has to do with it after all, to be a little more honest, a little more whole, and have the world be a little less violent for just loving ourselves. Maybe that's what love's got to do. Maybe that's what love has to do with it after all. What's love got to do with it? Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you have a beautiful day. I'll see you next Thursday. Peace and blessings.